how your body keeps track of what you ignored, indulged, and have outgrown. You probably heard the phrase, the body keeps score. I like to think of it in this way. Your body records everything. Every skipped meal, every deep sigh, every late night you said just one more email, every time you pushed yourself, it's stored somewhere in your energy, your sleep, your mood. And quite honestly, it's not to punish you. It's just to keep you honest. Because while your mind can rewrite the story, your body, it's the one that takes notes, and it's in ink. If you've ever wondered why you wake up tired even after 8 hours of sleep, or why your shoulders tense the second you open the laptop, this might be why. Or if you like metaphor, picture it as a scoreboard, a running tally of the things that you ignored, indulged, or outgrew. But it isn't about judgment. Your body isn't grading you. It isn't giving you, it's giving you data so that you can see what needs to shift. My body remembered every shortcut I took in the name of productivity. The skipped meals, the 12-hour quick shifts, the nights I told myself, hey, I can get by on 5 hours of sleep. It's not revenge. It's record keeping. And after years of covering for me, my body said, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. It caught up with me, the fatigue, the fog, the dull ache that even a good stretch couldn't shake. So this episode is part of a series of 3 I call the Body Trilogy. There are 3 conversations here about how you explore your body's communication and what happens in midlife. And it's okay if you're jumping in here and you haven't heard the other episodes. Each one of these stand on their own. But to give you a little background, in episode 14, we explored how to start listening to your body signals. Today, we're looking at what those signals actually mean and how your body's keeping store in the background. And then in the next episode, episode 16, we'll take the awareness into movement and learn how to move like you mean it. Again, last episode, we talked about tuning back in, learning to actually hear, see, and feel what your body's trying to tell you. The quiet signals of rest, hunger, thirst, and comfort that you've learned to override. And again, if you missed that one, you can go back and listen later. It's the perfect setup for today's conversation, but again, is not required. Last week, we talked about noticing your body's voice. Basically, my body speaks. Today is about understanding what it's saying. In other words, my body tracks and teaches. This is where we take the curiosity and turn it into insight so that you can act from awareness instead of autopilot. I had a client, I'll call her Marie. She swore she was doing everything right. Organic food, Pilates twice a week. She had a drawer full of supplements. She could have opened her own pharmacy. But she felt flat, just off. She misplaced her sparkle. When I asked her what brought her joy, she just blinked and looked at me. I don't even know anymore, she said. I'm so busy trying to just keep everything running, I don't even think about joy. Her body told me the rest. The tight shoulders, the shallow breathing, the eyes that looked tired and exhausted and that hadn't laughed in months. So we started with something ridiculously small. 5 minutes a day of something that felt good. Not useful, not on the list of stuff that you got to do, but something that felt good. It could be music while she cooked. It could be a slow walk without a phone. It could be a few minutes just having her face in the sunshine. And At first she went, I don't know what good this is going to do me. But a couple weeks later, she said, my shoulders dropped for the first time in a year. Her scoreboard was changing, not because she worked harder, but because she started listening. Your body is the most accurate historian. It keeps a log of stress, rest, joy, and pleasure. We kind of forget about the last two. And you can say, I'm fine, but your pulse and your digestion and your sleep schedule, they tell a different story. And it really isn't a betrayal because your body's telling the truth. It's a brilliant design. Your body records repetition, not intention. The nervous system learns from what you do most often, not what you meant to do. That's the neuroscience. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So when you repeat calm behaviors, your body learns calm behaviors. When you repeat rushing, it teams rush. So when life gets intense, you want your default to become grace, not panic. The wild thing is your body doesn't just hold on to the information, it broadcasts it. And funny enough, it telegraphs to the world without you saying a word. How does this happen? By the way that you move, the way that you stand, the way that you breathe. When you're tired, your shoulders roll forward. When you're anxious, your breath is high up in your chest. When you're at ease, people see the softness in your jaw, the ease in your walk, the calm in your shoulders, even the way your eyes meet them. You think you're holding it all together, but your body's actually talking to you. The beautiful part is that once you start paying attention, you can change that message and the whole world responds differently. That 3 a.m. crash, the tight jaw, the sleepless eyes, they're messages wrapped in your biology. Fatigue can mean you're undernourished, not undermotivated. Bloating can mean that you're eating the wrong foods. Or it might be that you need to eat at a different time or a different amount. A stiff neck can mean that you're carrying things that aren't yours. Your body is, you can think of it as like your inbox of truth. The goal isn't to delete all the messages or to just ignore them and never read them. It's to read them before they turn into alarm so that you can respond early enough that it doesn't become a full-blown shutdown. We love to make meaning. I'm lazy. I need more discipline. But the body isn't judging, it's reporting. Those repeated headaches, afternoon energy dips, and the waves of irritability, basically the mid-afternoon crabbies, these trend lines, these are not moral failures. When you stop arguing with the data and start interpreting it, your body relaxes. In other words, it doesn't have to shout at you anymore in order to get your attention. This is NLP in action, shifting the internal dialogue from blame or condemnation to information. You're reframing your inner dialogue so that your nervous system feels safety instead of threat. And the body loves mini course corrections. A glass of water, a good laugh, 5 minutes of stillness. I watch crazy cat videos. They make me happy. They make me laugh. And these are not just nice extras to have. These are things that you need to rewire your baseline. Every small win sends a signal to your brain of success and your nervous systems. Oh, we're safe again. We don't have to be in panic mode. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen next. That's how confidence is built. And not through giant leaps, but through repeated signals of safety, self-trust. The self-trust comes because You are listening to what your body is telling you, and you're taking action. And over time, feeling good stops from being the exception and starts to be normal. I remember standing in front of the mirror one morning thinking, I know what I should be doing, but why don't I feel better? The truth is because knowing and listening are not the same thing. You can recite all of the stuff that is in a nutritional label and hormone pathways, but instead, think about asking, what does my body need today? That, for me and for many of my clients, changes everything. It changed my work, it changed my dancing, and it changed how I felt in life. Because you're listening, you're realizing how much your own body has been tracking. Let that sink in for a second. Take a breath before you shift into the simple reset for the day. So here is a practice for you. For the next 24 hours, and this is really simple, keep track of what makes you tired and what gives you energy. So for example, before you start a task, be it a meeting, a walk, a conversation, scrolling on your phone, pause for a second and say, how do I feel right now? Then when you finish it, say, how do I feel now? That's it. No journaling, no app, no judgment, just noticing. You're teaching your awareness to speak the same language as your body. And when you do that, you start to see patterns, people, habits, moments that drain you, and ones that spark your energy, that refill you. Because our body records it all. Every choice, every step, every push. You can kind of think of it as a living logbook or scorebook. Whatever image fits you the best. The message is the same. Your body's keeping track so that finally you can make choices that align with how you want to feel. Let me say that again. You can make choices that align with how you want to feel. Now, this isn't woo, it's wiring. Every thought and emotion leaves a chemical imprint. Your nervous system doesn't care if the stress comes from a line or your inbox. It just knows it's stress and tags it as danger. In midlife, the record keeping is magnified. Hormone shifts, recoveries can be slower, and your scoreboard feels faster because it's got all the years of the other stuff in there. But you can gain wisdom. You can finally see the trends clearly. When you adjust based on what your body's been tracking, you become your own best experiment in vitality. You're rebuilding trust so that your body feels safe enough to thrive again. This episode is the second part of the trilogy about awareness, understanding, and movement. Each of these episodes can stand alone, but together they're a fuller story of how your body speaks, remembers, and guides you to vitality. So if you're curious, check out episode 14, that's listening to your inner compass, and join me for the next Move Like You Mean It, which will look into awareness to life and motion. So in closing, I'd like to say, here's what I want you to remember. The body doesn't lie, but it absolutely forgives. It isn't keeping score to shame you. It's keeping score to guide you. Every ache, sigh, laugh, and incident of joy is a headline in your daily newspaper of you. When you feel off, don't ask what's wrong with me. Ask, what is my body trying to tell me? Because your body's always tracking and it's cheering you for a comeback. Try this for 24 hours. I'd love to hear what happens when you do it. And send me a message, tag me, let me know. That's it for today. Bye for now. That's it for this reset. Grab your free gift, your midlife superpower, 5 simple power moves to feel like yourself again. The link is anagelesslife.com/superpower. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
I'm Michelle Abraham, founder of High Vibe Podcast Network, and we're honored to have Diana Devi's show, Midlife Reset, as part of our network family. For more inspiring shows like this one, visit highvibepodcastnetwork.com. And don't forget to grab your free gifts from our hosts in the gift vault. Stay high vibe and keep sharing your life.